When did you get a sense of this was actually going to be a competitive game?
Good question. It was 28-0, 18 minutes in. And there's a lot to talk about, though, because we'd never seen a Georgia defense look worse. The Kalen DeBoer era in a big home game and Jalen Milroe becoming the Heisman frontrunner with live odds in the second quarter when it's 28-0. There was a lot of compelling stuff, but you want to see a competitive game as they began to claw back in. I think we get to 30-15 at that point. Alabama hadn't scored a touchdown in a long time. They had a field goal and a safety, but they had stopped scoring touchdowns, and Georgia had cut the lead in half. And at that point, you figured, okay, they've got a quarterback who can throw the ball downfield when he's not throwing it to the other team. And Georgia has the championship DNA, and you never quit. And also, you could just sense that Alabama human nature was just throttling back. It was so easy, so shockingly easy. And we didn't think it was going to come down to what happened with the leads changing twice in the last minute. But you had to hope it would be competitive because Georgia's Georgia. They're not going to roll over.
And just to have that, and I said it's a perception game, more so for Alabama, with the new coach and Jalen Milroe, who was really good at the end of last year, and kind of having a coming out party. I mean, you have these moments there that it feels like every Heisman winner needs one of these games. Did Jalen Milroe maybe distinguish himself as he is clearly the front runner in your eyes?
No, I don't know. It's early. I think he distinguished himself as a guy that has really grown and improved since last year, right, Dan? I mean, the question was, he makes electric plays. He also makes mistakes in big moments. He beat Georgia in Atlanta in the SEC championship game. He was clutch late. He goes against Michigan. He has a crucial fumble midfield. Not his fault at the end of the game, but he had the ball in his hands and he couldn't get in the end zone. He took that very hard. I think the coaching regime change for him was really, really important and valuable. Remember, he got benched a year ago, okay? He plays poorly against Texas, his home state. He doesn't play against USF, and he spends the rest of the year trying to rebuild his confidence, but he's still got that in his head. They sat me down, okay? And they embarrassed me. Now, I think with this new coaching staff, Nick Sheridan is a play caller for Kalen DeBoer, but it's still Kalen DeBoer's offense. It's a beautiful offense for the passing scheme. They've coached him beautifully in the offseason, a lot of smart people around him. Hey, when you get pressured, don't run backwards 11 yards. Don't take these disastrous sacks. Protect the ball. Do your job. And he's taken that coaching really well. And I think we saw the freedom and a confidence and a belief in himself that maybe could only happen with a fresh start in that way and being surrounded by a lot of smart offensive people.
We're talking to Chris Fowler on the call for the Titans-Dolphins coming up tonight. He was there with Georgia and Alabama. We know that Ryan Williams is 17 years of age. We're suggesting that he change his number to 17. And then next year is 18, next year is 19, and then next year's is 20. What do you think, Chris?
The number 2 is a big number at Alabama. It's weird that number 2 on offense and defense, both freshmen made the big plays, and that Xavier Brown made the pick to secure it at the end. No, he's just so different, Dan. I can't even describe. It doesn't even come through on TV. You look at the stats, you can hear he's 17, but just to be around him and hear what his teammates have to say and his coaches, it's so exciting to see a dude who comes along who's just different. I rode back down here to Miami with Desmond Howard after the game. He knows receivers, and it was just so interesting to hear his perspective. He did about 3 different things on that last catch for a touchdown that was just, wow, are you kidding me? Getting open, body control to make that contorted catch, split defenders, outrun them. I mean, and I talked to him pregame, and I said, I don't usually talk to college players pregame. It's kind of something I try to give him space, but he came over and was just hugging Holly Rowe and saying hello. I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy is that age, and he's in his first really big game, and that's how chilled he is before kickoff against Georgia. And I said, you don't look like this is too big for you. And he goes, no, sir. You look like you're ready for this from birth. And he said, I am. And he goes out and plays like it. And, when you lead your team in catches and yards, your first 4 games of your career, and your team is Alabama, it's just, we haven't seen that. And it's so exciting for us in college, because I know the draft guys already, where would we take him? Easy. We got him for 3 years. We got him for 3 years in this sport.